The sperm flames, I love them.
Dang, getting excited for Tx2K. It's officially 2020, 2020, 2024. T minus, I don't know, January, February, March, less than 3 months we're gonna be in Texas. Now last time we took a bunch of used materials and we built the hot side on the turbo kit, which it came out pretty decent. And now we gotta start building the cold side. But before we can build the cold side, we have to place the alternator so we can build around it. In order to place the alternator, we've gotta modify the motor plate. Now before we used to run a low mount alternator and it used to sit right here and it was really bad for throwing belts. So we just got rid of it completely. The new alternator setup actually goes on the passenger side head. The only problem is now our motor plate goes through here, and if we cut a big chunk out of this, then we're just gonna be left with like a skinny little motor plate. We do have a brand new motor plate here, and we're gonna utilize that, just not right now, because what we're gonna do is we're going to get our alternator set up on the head, cut this motor plate, and then use this one as a template for the other one after we have a bunch of rough cuts made in this one. Now, lucky for you guys, the heater's gonna be on in the garage the whole time because that's just how it is in Canada right now. That hole, and then those two holes. Okay. First things first, we can just take the motor plate out of there. Remember that one time I just had a bolt in my hand and now I don't know where it is? Remember that one time I just had the socket in my hand too? Imagine I buy a kit and then come to find out that half the kit bolts to a factory water pump. Stupid. This is a stupid idea. Make it work project. All right, maybe we're not too rough in shape. This piece, there were some spacers and that bolted to the water pump. And I think that was just for like extra stability and flex, but like it's bolted up right now. So if we somehow incorporate these two bolts into like the motor plate or something maybe, I think we'll be all right. And it wouldn't be hard. Once we have the motor plate in there, we just put the drill bit through here, drill through both of them, put the spacer in it, and then bolt it to the backside of the motor plate. And I think that'll be all right. Not much room for our charge piping and our intake though. Do you know what? I'm actually really curious if our motor plate will fit in there without having to cut anything. If we can even fit it in there. Wow, I don't have to cut much, just like the top of this piece right here. I can do that right now. Let me chuck it in the bandsaw. I bet you it fits now. Yippers. All right, I'm just looking at the setup here and trying to judge where we're gonna put our 4-inch pipe, but I want an intake pipe. I don't want to suck the hot air from the radiator. I want to suck the cold air from the wheel well. Because we're going to be turbo limited in limited street with that 76 millimeter, we want every horsepower we can get, and just sucking in hot air is just like pissing away horsepower. It's hard to get 5.5-inch tubing, so what I'm gonna try and do is take a piece of aluminum here, put it through that machine over there, and I've never done this before, and try and make our own like 5.5-inch diameter tube. We're running low on aluminum, so I don't mind scrapping this piece anyways. And I love these little sheet metal shears here. I use this for cutting all aluminum, even up to like 1/8 inch, so. It doesn't like cutting 1/8 inch, but just a good little workhorse. Like I said, I've never used this before, and clearly there's no instructions on it other than me just looking at it or YouTube video or something. So I'm not even sure what to do with it. I'm just gonna put something in there and see what happens. Ah, you just fell and hit my toe. Why am I always breaking myself? Yeah, that was good. This is my pinky toe too, and that's like the most important one because that's the one the girls like to suck on. Okay, I took a practice piece and I made a thing. I just gotta get the big piece in there and make that a thing now. Like to get it to start in there is so dumb. Like it almost needs a bend in the piece of metal. You know what I'm talking about here? It's probably made for like super thin sheet metal because both of these gears have to mesh together over here in order for it to work right. That wasn't a good noise. Oh, it fell out. It broke! It fucking broke it. Anyways. All right, next day my toe is officially forked. I'll show you. Purple toe. It's also purple on the bottom side. It might be broken. We got Hog Jogger Dan coming over. We have to get these cars moved. They have to switch sides. I forgot that the transmission has to come out of this car because the converter has a recall on it. So the converter's got to get sent back to Circle D. They're going to do the recall on it, get the converter back, and we have to put that back in before Tx2K. I had to change the stator in the converter anyway, so the transmission had to come out, but this has to happen now or else we might not make Tx2K. So we got to switch the cars, get this on the lift, which is going to be better to build the turbo kit on the lift anyways. You know what? I stress out a little bit when videos don't do well. I'm like, shit, the numbers, just the numbers. I'm a numbers guy. So I'm going to stop caring about numbers. So who cares what views it gets? We're just having fun. And now that I'm standing here looking cool like this, just fresh as heck, I made 3 giant mistakes on this Hemi engine that I have to fix. And that's coming up soon. I put some anchor holes in the floor here. We're gonna throw some anchors in it, and now we can hook the winch up to the floor there and just pull a car in through the door, or one over here. There you go. Just come in, toss the winch over the bolt, and then hook that up to the car, pull it in. Nope, Danny boy, the engine and drivetrain's right there.
Oh,
yeah.
Make it a little easier to push.
Yeah. So got one out, gotta get the other one out. Oh yeah, I forgot the steering wheel's on the floor in this thing. On them.
I was wondering if you were the cute chaotic one in the back window.
It's starting to make sense then.
It is, yeah. We good there, Dan?
Good day.
Dang, look at me getting some mail. Hey brother, coming to you from the UK. Dang. Nothing special, but I seen these and thought of you and Gina. Purple for the Martian, and I know you love your black TNTs. If you blow it like a whistle, the turbine spins. But anyway, keep doing you, man. Love the content and can't wait for more. Love from the UK, Wayne. Merry Christmas. Looks like I got a turbo in mine and a connecting rod keychain, and Gina got, because she's not here, Gina got the same thing, but a purple turbo and a connecting rod. He says it's supposed to whistle. It does. I'm gonna limit my ground clearance, but no better place to put it. You gotta love those 2x3 1/8" steel subframe connectors. I didn't put those in. That was somebody else's idea. It works, I guess. So my working chair, like my welding stool, is just a little bit too tall. I can't straighten my head unless I put it in the crevice right here of the transmission, and I don't want to do that because I get my nose all dirty, and I got a nice nose. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go buy a different chair that rolls, and then maybe we'll be comfortable under here. But already so much better for pulling the transmission. Like so much better. I love this. I love this for me. So I'm excited for Tx2K, but here is the list right here of the cars that are going. The average wheel horsepower, almost 1,700 wheel horsepower. The wheel horsepower in this thing, 1,250-ish, maybe 1,300. About to lay the crank on the ground, I guess. Oh, geez, my lens was so dirty. Canadian Tire's finest. I'm glad it's already assembled, too. And with the power of editing, the transmission is out. Still better than working completely on the floor, even though I don't have a transmission jack, so I gotta put it down on like a bench or something. All right, that was much better than doing that on the floor. And then while it's in the air, look how easy the piping is gonna be right here. Like I can literally stand right here and just start making piping. This is gonna be one of the better pipings that I've experienced. Really, really, really unfortunate that we had to send it away because I purposely spent more money to buy a bolt together unit so I wouldn't ever have to send it away. Anyways, good thing I kept the box. Worst case scenario, this torque converter has to go back in, which I hope it doesn't, but that's the worst case. So we'll pull this one out. This is our old one. Get that one in there, get it ready to ship. We're gonna start by cutting this bar out real quick. This was just our old like turbo mount. It used to be like a radiator mount at one point, but I'd mounted my radiator different. So cut that piece out. It'll give us a little more room to get the charge piping in, and then we get to start the charge piping. Yeah. Now we get to build our piping from there, down and along and around. Oh my God, this view is cool because then we can be like, burp, 90-degree turn, boop, 90-degree turn, intercooler. Okay, we start by getting the pipe down between the balancer and the hot side, which I had an angle here, something like this. It doesn't leave much room between the balancer and the hot pipe, but that's about as best as we're gonna get. So we'll take that as a win and get that tack welded in place. Get my brand new gloves on. Get those dirty real quick. This is all used pipe too, so It's not gonna be perfect. Pipe is still hot, but we should be able to just slam this in place now and should be a good starting point. Power stance. Not bad looking over here. You know what? Not terrible clearance on this side either. I don't know, almost a finger width in there and then a finger width on that side. So perfect. Kink out of here a little bit and then just 180 into that. Okay, we get to build the last bit of this. The hot side of the charge piping. We're just gonna try and get it lined up. This last piece here just has to slip into place. I need it all to line up and then I need one of you guys to come mark it. Or that's gonna happen. And then we're all the way out. True North Turbos for the win. BlackSheepIndustries.ca. Yeah, just one more piece in the middle here. And mainly because I just used a bunch of used piping that it's not perfect. No one's gonna know. It'll still hold the 1,000 horsepower that we're trying to make. 1,300. 1,800 horsepower. The only thing stopping me from making more power with this motor is the stock crank in it. It flexes a lot. If I had a better crank in it, maybe I'd turn it up some more, but I don't really trust anyone to put a crank in this thing, so it is what it is for now. I guess the moment of truth is if we put this big hunkin' piece of whale in there and it actually lines up. I'm a little bit skeptical. Interesting. It actually went in on this side. Did it go in on this side though? All the way? More or less. That's more than enough fitment that we need. That ain't horrible. As soon as I put a bead here and we put the coupler on there, you won't even notice it. So we were told that the paint underneath this is like this color and then the original color is like a teal color. You can kind of see it in there. But it mixes from this purple into the teal with flames. So we're gonna find out because we want to rewrap the car anyways. Who knows, maybe we'll love it and we'll just have to send it to Texas with sperm flames on it.
Oh, you get it?
Well, there's some, like right here. Oh, they're up here too.
Nice.
Like,
oh my
that.
gosh, yeah.
That's a really nice, like this color, I really like that. I'm not a fan of the...
That's like the GTI almost.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the flames, but the
Dang!
color. Anyways, I ended up getting a new set of valve covers because we needed to put the coils on the valve covers this time because we flipped the headers. So I got these cheapy Amazon ones, which I do like how the posts hold the coil pack. So we're gonna throw these on just to make sure that they fit so we don't end up with some like last minute shitstorm going on here. I don't want to be like 10 days out from Tx2K and then be like, oh no, the valve covers don't fit. Oh yeah, once we get those powder coated. All right, what do you think about it so far?
What? The sperm flames? I love them.
Not that, the car in general.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what it does because this is going to be a fun trip.
The year of racing.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
It is. Mm-hmm. We have the valve cover in place here. I actually really like those. We do have some 5-inch pipe here for an intake. And I just need that to roughly know where we can put stuff. So this can go here, and then that pipe can go over top of this pipe, and then the coolant hoses can go around underneath the alternator. It's probably going to be lower like this, so we're going to build around the intercooler piping being something like that. And Gina's just here chilling, you know, all blue-haired alien.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see some
Airbnbs
plans.
for Tx2K?
Yeah.
Yeah, yay.
Yay.
Also, I kind of frigged myself. So these are 275 Radial Pros, DOT tire. On the back, I have a 275 PBR. Not allowed to use that at Tx2K. Arguably not a faster tire than the Radial Pro, but not DOT, so I can't use it. No exceptions to the rules. So I got to bust out the old set of tires here for Tx2K. And that'll do the trick. Decent welding too. The whole reason we do that is because we don't want to lose a race by having a stupid coupler blow off the throttle body, and it happens often when you put a 90 degree on that throttle body. Solid mount at least on one side and coupler the other side, and you won't have an issue with it blowing off because I'd have to rip the whole piping off to blow that V-band off. I went ahead and I cut a bunch of 5-inch pie cuts. We're going to see if we can get this intake pipe slightly down further. So we've got one here that is actually flat on one side, angled on the other, and then pie cut down. Just Trying to move the intake down a little tiny bit without like reducing the flow of it. I mean, it basically looks like a giant stovepipe, but it should fit exactly where we want it to and give us some clearance for our other pipe now. I can also make a bracket with our arc droid down here on the frame rail to hold this piece of pipe up too once we get it in. And that would be pretty cool too. I'm gonna get all this stuff powder coated. I'm gonna be so baller, dude. Shit yeah. Now since I'm using 4-inch piping, I wanna actually make this hole 4 inches instead of 3.5. I have a 3-inch hole saw that is gonna fit kind of on the inside of this. I'm just gonna tape up the outside of this to make it the right diameter in here, and then put this one over top of it, and that'll be our guide one on the inside, and then this one should cut the hole that we need, the perfect size. And now what's gonna happen is this is going to center itself on the piece of pipe that's already in there, and then this one is actually going to be the cutting one. I'm gonna leave it on the car to try and start the cut, but I have to pull it off to weld the piece of pipe on anyways, and that's when we're gonna clean it. There we go. And our piece of 4-inch pipe just fits in like that. We'll take our marker. We wanna make sure we have a smooth transition, so we're gonna just mark it the whole way around and then cut it flush there and then put it back in and weld it up. See, fabrication is so easy, you just gotta do it. That's the hard part. Gina. Oh, buddy. That'll do. That'll do. Oh, look at that. Our pipe fits perfectly in there. Almost too perfect. Man. I got this pretty good, right? So this is gonna go somewhere like that. There's a little bend that goes down here and then straight to there. But I'm out of straight. And I don't want to put 2 pieces in there because I don't want 1 extra weld. But I have like this piece and this piece and this piece. And I thought I was gonna be able to utilize more of the old piping, but it's pretty shit. So, do I join a couple pieces together and have a weld in it, or do I wait and get a piece and don't have a weld in it? It's the question. It's starting to look good though, dude. It's starting to look good though, dude. Look at that. Shit. Not bad for a little Canadian guy. Little 5.3 iron block truck engine. One day we will have a bigger engine and we will bring horsepower to a horsepower fight. Maybe, I don't know. Who cares?